Good morning, Abhishek.
Good morning. Good morning.
You're not.
Morning. Good morning.
We're missing your usual smile. Is that because you're also looking at the same numbers?
I think you timed my entry after your last comment about the Congress.
I was just doing a summary.
Let me just start with a few points. See, you people have been in the game very long, especially Pranoy. So you know very well that the time to do these smiles and sad looks is 11 o'clock.
Right.
Earliest 10:30, but possibly 11 is the correct time. Number one. Number two, I had said 1 month ago on television, so it's on the record, that I would put Punjab, Uttarakhand and Goa in the Congress kitty. And then I had said before the exit polls that unfortunately Punjab is a disappointment, but I would still stand by my Uttarakhand and Goa prognosis. And I would repeat that. I'd be very surprised if we lost Uttarakhand. And I think we will be the single largest, though in a hung situation, in Goa. And I'm saying that today morning. So let's wait and watch. Punjab has been a disappointment because, and that I said before the exit polls, in fact, that because I think two factors work there against us. One, there is what we call static of politics or of media. There was a certain amount of chick going on, which might not have any real substantive value, but it creates an impression in the mind of the people that there is a lack of a united front. And second and more important, I think, was a feeling that we've given a chance to everyone. Let's try this new entity this time. We gave them we did not let them come in 2017. So there was a newness without baggage, which worked. But that is a disappointment. And I think it was something which I indirectly commented after closure of polls and before the exit polls. As far as Uttarakhand is concerned, I still believe that we should make it, although possibly narrow. And Goa, provided we are able to manage post-poll stolen majorities tactics by the BJP, I think we should be able to hang on as the single largest with support from elsewhere.
If this kind of dismal forecast for the Congress party happens, and there's a pretty good chance that it will happen, what is the future of the Congress party?
Well, if what I said happens is not so dismal as if what Vasu and you said just now, that we lose all five. You have 4 of the 5 states with the BJP. And if the Congress hangs on to Uttarakhand and Goa, it's not so dismal. But yes, if we lose all 5, then it is going to be very difficult and very sad. And we need some, complete kind of revamps and reworkings and rewirings that I think we'll have to await. But I think it's no cause for that immediate dismal scenario. As I said, still in the morning today at 9:30 or so, still hopeful, confident about Uttarakhand and Goa.
When you say revamp, I'm very glad you didn't use the word introspection.
Yeah, I deliberately avoided it.
No, revamp sounds and rewiring. That's a huge impact on an ancient party.
These are adjectives. They go along with introspection, no doubt. I think there will be. I don't think there's need to be agreeing with you about this dismal scenario, but I'm only hypothesizing.
Right. In
case there is that bad a situation, don't think that parties do not kind of analyze every bit. And I think it will need and I think more important than anything else, at the ground level, at the local level, at the middle level, more than anything else, is not just, as is commonly believed and misconceived, a leadership issue. It is something which requires a change at every level. And secondly, it needs our elections to be kept on time. Punctually, they've been advertised for August or so, roughly, August, September. And I think that needs to be done. And we need to simply, gear ourselves up. What more can I say?
But Abhishek, when you say that, it is that goes down to the local level, surely there has to be leadership accountability. When you talked of chick in Punjab, it wasn't chick, it was the state president fighting with the chief minister. Now, if you can't control that as leadership, surely there's a crisis at the very top.
No, I think the leadership showed great decisiveness. Captain Amrinder Singh, who's a dear friend and a very senior leader, certainly had lost the support of the MLAs. That's a factum you can't ignore. The leadership took a very strong, maybe an unpleasant decision that he had to be changed. Thereafter, all of you applauded the choice of Channi, each one of you.
Who are we to applaud?
Yeah,
I think Sagrika had a word for it. What did you say?
I don't
Congress
mind.
committing suicide?
Press the self-destruct button.
Press the self-destruct button. That's what
No,
you're...
I'll tell you. Okay, I don't mean you individually, but I think generally there was, and even privately our opponents said that it was a good move to have someone who has come up from the ground as the Chief Minister candidate. But what happened after that were two things that I said. I think people spoke too much on the media. That's not necessary. It didn't score anything. And no real change was made with that. And that, I think, was to some extent the individuals who spoke too much. And that's what I euphemistically call chick. But I think above all was the feeling that here is a party which has not got any baggage, at least in Punjab. They may not succeed, give them a chance. That combined with the chick had, I mean, if these polls are correct, and I think the polls are unidirectional, the quantum or the figures, the spread may be different, but the polls are indicating in one direction for AAP.
Shekhar, you want to...
Well, it wasn't just anybody doing chick. It was your party chief. It was your state party chief. So what does it say for the leadership of your party that you invite the political equivalent of a human bomb into your party and let it tick all the time? So he wasn't just fighting with the previous chief minister, who you say, removal of who you say was a very wise step. He was also undermining the new chief minister all the time. So, I mean, this is really Abel Mujhe Maar.
Let me tell you, and you'll better, Shekhar, that Navjot Sidhu has outstanding qualities. He's, after all, a very solid political player. He's possibly winning Amritsar against a lot of opposition. He has great qualities of the ground and attraction of the people. Along with that, you are right. He may have spoken out of turn. That's why I am saying that we are in a pre-exit poll situation. I did say that we have slid down in Punjab from the high we were on about 6 weeks ago. There is no doubt about it. But there was, I think, overall, it's not a question of party discipline there. I think the party was very decisive in the way they announced Channi. They got them together on the same stage. They held hands. So, I mean, there was a lot of, after all, everybody has personal ambition. So it's not easy to first remove a person like Captain Amrinder and then after some time to declare Mr. Channi. And that was done along with Mr. Sidhu. But which of the two factors was more, the chick factor or the newness without baggage element of I don't know. But it did slide. It did slide.
This is Sagarika Ghosh here. How can your party high command escape responsibility for what's happened to you in Punjab? I mean, this is the one state that stood by you through the Modi wave. Your party high command, sacked Mr. Amrinder Singh, appointed Mr. Channi. We saw the high-profile press conference that Mr. Rahul Gandhi held. How can your party top leadership escape responsibility for what's happened in Punjab?
Sagarika, first of all, the party leadership does not escape responsibility for any result in any state. They come out front and say, yes, we own up to the responsibility, we've lost. Any loss in any election, totality, collectively or individually in Punjab, is owned up. It's been done hundreds of times by whether it's Rahul Gandhi or Sonia Gandhi. So there is no question of not owning up. They take the bullet in the chest. However, we are now analyzing reasons for it. I don't think you could do this campaign by sidelining Mr. Sidhu, which is the oblique suggestion coming from you, not you, but from NDTV just now in the program. I think, yes, we chose the right chief minister, but we wanted him to carry along, and he did go along. But I think the feeling in the media was the static dissonance, if I may say so.